literally steps backwards. She's so horrified. The Royal News Network said on this, Meghan hated Drew sharing this picture of Princess Diana. She literally keeps physically moving away from Drew and that picture.
The legacy of Princess Diana is one of compassion and defiance. Decades after her passing, Meghan Markle is often compared to her. But is Meghan truly carrying Diana's legacy, or is she carving out her own royal identity? Let's dive in.
I think Meghan's inferiority complex is coming into play here, in addition to a bit of the narcissistic rage that the attention isn't all on her. There was much more from this interview, by the way, including the way she's now pimped out her children once more. We'll get to that in just one moment. But first, let me bring in our royal mastermind, Prince Harry's biographer, Angela Levin. Angela, what was going on there?
Well, she obviously didn't like it, did she?
Not at all.
She's set this story about the late Princess Diana, and that's worked very well with Harry, who does believe that she's up there in the clouds and telling him which way to go, what to do, and that she is very, very close friends with Meghan. He really believes that, and I think, holds on to it because it makes him feel better. But Meghan can't allow anyone else there because this is very, very private. And she gets, I think, very, very angry if anything else happens. I mean, she has lied on the earth near where Diana is buried and actually, help me, and done all that sort of thing. And she feels, or she says, she is doing that for her. So that's absolutely no good if someone else has met her and feels that she was wonderful and that feels that she's also in the same group. She doesn't want that at all. We've even seen with Meghan that she's all alone in who she wants to be. She wants to be the best one, and she doesn't want to be inferior. So the fact that she must have felt that, oh, what am I going to do? She didn't know what to say. Fascinating.
It was utterly fascinating because this is the problem in these TV appearances. Meghan can never really hide her true self, no matter how much she tries. In the end, the mask always slips.
The Diana parallel is Meghan the new people's princess? Diana was the people's princess, breaking royal barriers and connecting with the public. Meghan entered royal life as a modern, outspoken woman championing social causes. But Meghan's journey hasn't been as smooth. Was Meghan ever truly welcomed as a new Diana? Meghan versus the royal machine. From the moment Meghan married Prince Harry, the British tabloids painted her as an outsider. Meghan faced a brutal media landscape. She chose to walk away entirely.
The first time I met Diana, she did have this amazing aura. She makes you feel, you almost can't speak. She's so beautiful and her eyes are so piercing but warm towards you that you think, oh gosh, I've got to do my very best. But, I don't believe that she's going to tell me what to do in the world.
No. Oh
I'm not good enough, really, would I?
I would have loved to have met her. I would have loved to have met her.
Very special.
Yeah, I'm very jealous
about that.
Very
special.
Now, look, obviously, Angela, we see the children being constantly pimped out. All of Prince Harry's rules about protecting them have gone out the window because they have this Netflix show to promote. And look at this. She actually enlisted the help of the children for this segment with Drew Barrymore so that they could make cookies. And again, when you look at the pictures showing their interaction, lots of focus saying that Meghan was, look, see that kiss? It's almost like, I think we've got a still of it, but it's like she's almost grabbing him and she's very much looking at the camera. It's very odd body language. Now, the Drew Barrymore show got such pushback on all of this, Angela, they've actually had to protect their posts on X. But at the end of the day, can you understand why people are so horrified that as soon as this Netflix show had to be promoted, all of the thoughts of privacy of the children is out the window.
Yes, I mean, I'd be one of those who's been absolutely shocked because it was so important to Harry that they were protected. Obviously, because he's had, he's lost his mother, and he doesn't want them to be
You're so
in any sort of risk. And so but this was more important that she got them to be with her. And I think it's absolutely terrible to use a child to allow you to earn money or to show off or to show the world how clever you are. I mean, it's awful. And I also think that actually saying that Archie said, "Oh, mummy, don't work so hard." He's 5. I mean, whether you believe it or not, he's now attached to that sentence. However old he is, that's his sentence. And I think it's terrible that the child should be part of that. I mean, it just is disgusting, particularly when the husband doesn't want to do it. So all this lovey-dovey, kiss you, cuddle, hold on tight, I think it's more important to actually go along with what he really, really doesn't like and what really, really worries him. And she doesn't do that because it's more important that she is there and get more people watching if she's got her children there. It's really unbelievable.
Their decision sent shockwaves through the monarchy. Some saw it as bold, others called it betrayal. Was Meghan following Diana or rewriting the rules? The battle for Diana's legacy. Harry has often spoken about protecting his wife the way he couldn't protect his mother. In their Oprah interview, he revealed his fear of history repeating itself.
Yeah, she has no true morals, does she? Because any of the morals can be thrown out the window at a moment's notice. Now, Angela,
when you want it,
yeah,
gone.
Totally, just gone. Lots of people were talking about how insincere the interaction was between Meghan and Drew Barrymore. We've put together a bit of a compilation, Angela. Watch this.
And everything else, and we crave that. We crave being able to go, "Hi," and like, "My friend, are you here?" And to really be able to hold and touch and embrace someone.
I have a picture, actually, that I'll get. It's upstairs.
Oh, yeah, you have to share that with me so I can show him.
It's me presenting her with an E.T. doll.
I was a babysitter nanny for 2 Irish Catholic families when I was in college.
I was so excited to do this. And also, we're going to make some cookies.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally cracked open your jam.
What
did you make of the interaction, Angela?
Well, I think Meghan didn't know what to do. She didn't like it because she was her guest was very confident and full of information, and Meghan doesn't like that. It makes her feel very awkward, I think. And she was, she's moving all the time. She didn't know what to do. She didn't want to touch her, but on the other hand, maybe she should. Very, very uneasy.
It really was, wasn't it? It
yeah,
really
very
was.
uneasy. Very.
And obviously there were a lot of lies as well in the interview. Angela,
oh, yes.
I
did this, you did, I did this and that, and they all thought I was amazing, and then I went on to this and that. I mean, we can all do that, but we shouldn't. But it's ridiculous to do that. She doesn't have to grab all that information. I don't think she needs to do that. She's got things which she can say, but that's not good enough. She's got to be 1 or 2 up on this other person all the time. She can't bear it if anybody actually has done more, said more, seen more than she has herself.
Yeah, I want to show you a couple of moments, Angela. I don't believe either of them. Have a look.
I always make it a point when I'm traveling, if I can't do bedtime stories with my kids, because Archie and Lily are just 3 and 5, so I'll always pack a really thin book and I'll videotape myself reading it. So whoever's with them, or Papa can say, "Here's Mama reading your bedtime story." You find ways to show up for each other. And if that's the one thing that I can convey through the show or through As Ever as a brand, I want people to know you can show up for each other because you know how good it feels when someone shows up for you.
What's your favorite thing that you see in your kids that you go, "Oh, that's their dad"? Like,
oh, some of the words that they still say with a British accent. So they'll say zebra. And what else do they say? They have these little moments where it comes out, and because they have very American accents, but they say words that are just like him, and I think it's adorable. Zebra's a good one.
Zebra, I love it.
Does claiming Diana's legacy help Meghan's image or create impossible expectations? Many believe Meghan's attempts to be the new Diana have backfired. Diana was viewed as a tragic figure, Meghan a disruptor. The royal family has embraced Diana's memory, but not Meghan's choices. Is Meghan truly the heir to Diana's legacy, or fighting a losing battle?
You notice there, Angela, she couldn't think of any others because there are no others. Just made up.
No, but not only did she just say Zebra, but she said, what makes him, your child, like their father? She didn't say, give me a word that his can say that his father would say. She didn't want to actually say, well, he's got the same sense of humor, or he's got just as good running with the football, something. But just to say one word means absolutely nothing. She didn't want to. She didn't want him in. This is Meghan's show, and she doesn't want it. And you see that even if it's a little small thing like that, she doesn't want to say, oh, well, Harry's wonderful with XYZ. You know, it's not. It's just one word, Zebra, which I mean, you know, it's nonsense, isn't it? One word. It's absolute rubbish.
It is. Now, can we move on to With Love, Meghan, which is now the biggest Netflix critical flop in history? I mean, it's gone wrong, Angela, in so many ways. She's been accused of racism for the way that she mocked Mindy Karlin's accent. She's been absolutely slammed for her horrendous fake dancing, which I think we can see here. And I always just think, Angela, please, God, make it stop, make it stop. And then Jack Royston of Newsweek, who used to be a supporter of Meghan Markle, is reporting that even her favourite magazine, The Economist, has mocked her as Marie Antoinette. And he says the big story of the With Love fallout has not been the fact of the criticism, but the brand names printing it. Jaw dropper after jaw dropper, of which this is probably the biggest sting. But I mean, there are others. The Daily Mail did a good job, actually, of showing how the show is just hated by everyone. However, Angela, they then did something incredibly odd, putting on their front page a sycophantic, in fact, I mean, sycophantic doesn't really do it justice. It was like a piece of propaganda by an author called Bryony Gordon. Now, I can't stand this woman. She's a nasty piece of work. But here she is with Meghan Markle, hugging all over each other. And so they have run a piece of absolute propaganda about Meghan, and they say what Meghan did after we had lunch together tells you everything about her. So you think, oh, wow, she must have done something really, really lovely. No, she just sent a note after she had lunch saying things were nice. And then she's really gone for people who are criticising the show. Now, as the Daily Mail itself has just pointed out, Angela, the criticism is coming from everywhere. It's coming from across the political spectrum. It's coming from across the media spectrum. But Bryony Gordon has the cheek to say, if anything, the bitchy reaction tells us just why we need more shows like it, where people hang out with their friends in nice kitchens doing things they enjoy instead of poring over all the things they...
A royal identity crisis? Since stepping away, Meghan has built a brand outside of royal life, Netflix deals, podcast interviews, and humanitarian efforts. But with every move, Diana's name follows her. Can Meghan exist without the comparison to Diana? Hit that subscribe button for more royal breakdowns.
Of this Bryony Gordon defense of this awful show.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of her either. But she was with them when they sort of tried to help people with their mental health. And I think that's where she felt that she could say things. But actually, she called us all hate watchers if we found anything that was wrong with what Meghan was doing. And I think that's actually tells you what she feels like. But it's just, she said, I'm always amazed by the vitriol spewed at Meghan. Vitriol, it's absolutely disgusting. It's as if she's like Vladimir Putin. Well, I mean, it's just not quite right. And I think that she obviously felt, or the paper obviously felt, they had to have something saying that Meghan was absolutely wonderful. They should get Bryony to do it because they've actually met. But they're scared because there's, Harry's going to court soon, and well, next year actually, isn't it? 2026. And they've got to show that they are giving balance, this obsession with balance. So this is the balance when the world is saying, what a load of tosh, this is ridiculous. And a lot of things are dangerous about what she's saying, which is you really shouldn't take by any chance. And then she's saying, this is a perfect, wonderful person. And none of us are, but she's actually doing this, actually protect the paper. Should it give Harry some way of getting even more money out of them?
Well, that's a good point, but I'm sorry. It was just awful. She said, do you know what I love most about this show? That it's so absolutely unapologetically her. Beautiful cursive handwriting and all. She's doing what makes her happy. And there really is no better way to make a mockery of the haters than that. I'm pretty sure Meghan has spent enough time close to British culture to know that a lifestyle series of this type would open her up to exactly the kind of cynical criticism that she's receiving. It's a credit to her that she went ahead and made one anyway, and that she had a gorgeous time doing it, sprinkling decorative flowers on all of the hate. And she says, but gosh, isn't it depressing how seeing a woman in her happy place seems to be so triggering to some people, Angela?
The verdict: Meghan's future without Diana's shadow. Princess Diana left behind a legacy shaping the royal family. Meghan Markle is often seen as her modern successor. Can Meghan escape Diana's shadow? Or will history always tie them together? Subscribe for more royal deep dives. See you in the next video.